May God give you health!
Maybe you're not playing for the first time, but you can't beat me.
The Lord be with you. What game? How about let's...
I'm seriously curious about you, lad.
Somebody did him in and chucked him into the water. With the river there,
Good game, friend. The money's yours.
Would you like to... What game would you... Let's play... Let's play...
Just like the old wedding.
Oh, Fortuna, may the best player win.
Don't see something like that.
I wouldn't wish that on that.
And you look like you can't count to 5.
May God give you health, sir. Greetings.
It's a good thing you don't throw like that all the time.
On Sunday?
I wasn't feeling well.
Not feeling well, eh? You got drunk again, didn't you?
My
No,
God,
of
what
course
a
not.
fuck up
I was
again.
feeling under the weather in the evening, and the next morning I just couldn't get up.
By the weather, do you mean that old ball and chain of yours?
What's that?
I saw something awful.
Give it to her!
Murder.
My respects.
Good day to you. What brings you here?
Lord Semine, what will happen with that robber from Apollonia now that we've captured him?
You mean Gules? You might find it hard to believe, Henry, but the man is of noble birth. That means I can't simply lock him up or, God forbid, execute him. So I took him into my service.
Was that wise, sir? Are you certain you can trust him?
No. That's why he has to prove himself.
How?
It looks like we didn't wipe out all the bandits who were pillaging with him. So his first task will be to take care of what's left of his own band. Till we meet again.
How did Gules end up?
He's a noble, so Lord Semine took him into his service.
What? Why would he do that? After Gules tried to rob him?
That's the nobility and their rules for you. A peasant would get the noose right away. But the lords play a different game together.
And you don't have a problem with that, Captain?
I don't, but I'll keep a close eye on him. Trust me. But anyway, there's all sorts in service in Semine. Can't do a job like this for long without getting dirty hands.
I expect the same applies to you?
Oh, my hands might be dirty, but my conscience is clean. There's some folk might tell you a different story, but that's how it goes.
What happened with the blacksmith's hands in the end?
Fine pair of rascals they were. His lordship let the younger fella be, Franzi. He swore on a cross that he didn't want no part in thievery, and it was that cousin of his, the older fella, Fencer, what talked him into it. So he kept him here as a hand. His lordship has a kind heart.
And how did Venser end up?
Not good. Lord Sameen had him strung up from a tree near here. Normally we'd have sent for the executioner, but time was pressing.
I think I've heard all... I'd like to learn something.
What do you want to know?
I mean...
All right, I'll...
I'd like to...
There's no time.
I'd like to learn...
Don't be foolish. We wouldn't even see what we're...
Welcome! What can I do for you?
Have you already taken care of your band?
Don't you start with that too.
So you didn't.
After you attacked me in Apollonia? I'm so battered I can hardly wipe my own arse. Old man Sameen will just have to be a bit more patient.
What if I helped you?
Well, well. Someone fancies himself.
I can handle a few footpads.
These aren't any ordinary footpads. They're a bunch of the most depraved whoresons I've ever met. Would you dare to take them on?
Yeah. Just tell me what I need to do.
So listen up. From what I've heard, there's another 4 of those scum roaming the countryside. I'd bet my boots that a few more will hitch up with them in time, so it won't be easy. You can start with Canker.
Canker? Interesting name. Why is he called that?
He already had that name when he joined us. I reckon they started calling him that on account of how he's rotten to the core.
If you say so.
Hey, don't be cheeky, youngster.
Where can I find him?
I don't know. I only know that he and his band were ambushing travellers on the road from Troskovitz to the Nabarkov mill.
So how do you want to find him then?
Easy. I'd wait for him to find me. With a little luck, he'll ambush you in one of those places too. Or one of his people will.
You don't have a better idea?
What did you expect? That I'd search the whole forest for him? Go ahead and try and find him that way, if you like. But I think you're more likely to roll straight 6s and dice.
What do you know about Canker?
Well, he likes to disguise himself as a monk and ambush travellers. He looks convincing in a robe. But otherwise, he's an awful heathen. Always drunk. Just like the rest of his band.
That could be useful.
Definitely. If you get lucky.
What do you know about his band?
Not much. We've never seen them all together, so I can't even tell you how many of them there are. But there won't be many. Canker has never dared tackle anything too big. Usually just some poor souls on their travels.
Again, how...
Either Canker will...
That's enough for...
Well, oh, and I almost forgot. When you're done, bring me Canker's mace. As proof.
Why? You don't trust me?
Why should I? It was good to see you, my friend.
Get over here so I can fucking cut you up.
Die, you wretch!
All yours. Fuck you. I'll rip your arm.
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker!
Burn in hell!
Take that,
What do you want? Show what you're made of. Take
Quick! Whoa!
It's a trap! Oh, Christ. These cramps are horrible. What could have caused them? Oh! Strange. Go to hell! Alert! Alert! Enough!
I give up. I know it is spoiled. I feel awful.
What the? What? I'll show you. We're under attack!
Bastard! Alert! To arms!
I feel quite hungry!
I'm done with this.
Come here!
No, I'm done with this. No, I'm done with this. No, I'm done with this.
Go! Whoa, whoa.
No, I'm done with this.
Whoa.
To arms! Take that!
Go! Go!
It's a trap! Oh!
I'll help you.
Go to hell!
Fuck yourself. We're going to gut you,
Take that!
There's more of us! You haven't a chance!
What do you want?
For the cross!
You want to try me?
Don't just stand there.
Don't fuck with us, you wretch!
Attack! Out of
Now,
here!
you fuck.
My God! Christ! I'm bleeding!
You're all...
I took care of Canker.
Seriously? So you brought me his mace like I told you to?
Of course. Here you go.
Yeah, that's it. Canker's best mate. Just as filthy and slimy as its owner. Good job, Henry. Here you go. It's not much, but I won't get any more than that out of old Sameen for the job.
Would you mind if I kept the mace?
Ugh, if you've got the stomach for it.
Thanks. What now?
Hold your horses, lad. Those bastards have to be tracked down. Give me some time.
Fine. I'll stop by later.
God bless you, sir.
Christ, what are you... Don't you dare hurt me with that thing. You madman.
Word about the... Do you accept?
You'll have to make...
What's this next job all about?
I need to find a saltpeter pit.
Never a wasted word, eh, Crazel?
Short and to the point. That's my credo.
And how long will it take before you tell me what a saltpeter pit is?
A saltpeter pit is a pit in which saltpeter is formed.
Saltpeter is niter. That I know. They're white crystals similar to salt. But I have no idea what you might need it for here at the mill. Or is it supposed to be some peculiar Crazel wedding gift for a young semi?
Nothing of the sort. The Kabbalistic doctrine speaks of saltpeter as a vessel for the inexhaustible essence of life. Those white crystals are said to contain the very essence of being. That's precisely what we need to give life to our golem. Thanks to the ingredients from Hermes Trismegistos, his feet will never get tired and his fists will have the power to smash rocks. But saltpeter is the most important thing. Saltpeter will be the golem's heart.
So you're serious about this golem? And are you certain it'll work out?
Certainly. Otherwise, I wouldn't even try.
How much saltpeter will it take to bring to life such a big creature?
A lot. That's why I want you to find me a decent saltpeter pit. Do you understand?
I was hoping I'd learn something useful from you. But instead, you're making me wander around the countryside looking for some pit.
Well, you never know when an experience like that might come in handy.
All right then. I'll look around for that saltpeter pit of yours. I just hope you know where to look. That you can point me in the right direction. And also that you'll get me into that wedding as a reward.
Yes, yes, and yes. Bonnie has a lead. She's a damned handy girl to have around. She can do anything you ask of her. But for you, the most important thing is that she knows how to look for niter, or saltpeter if you prefer.
So this Bonnie is some kind of witch who's in on this golem stuff.
Bonnie is someone I trust without question, and you should too. Not only will she teach you how to find saltpeter, but also how to differentiate it from common salt. The main difference is it has kind of cooling taste.
Hold your horses. You want me to taste that nasty stuff?
If you don't taste it, you could confuse it with some nasty rot. And you don't want that.
Damn right.
Don't be such a lily liver, Henry. If Bonnie can taste saltpeter, so can you. She'll tell you the rest herself. You'll find her in the lair. That's a secret storage space I have here just by the pond. Only my best people can get in.
How can I get to this lair?
There's a bridge over the mill stream towards the southwest. Take the path to the left, just behind it along the pond. From that path, you turn right, uphill, between the rocks, and you'll find yourself right in front of the lair. You can't miss it. Oh, and so I don't forget, you could pick some herbs along the way to see Bonnie. It would make her very happy. She's just been through some tough times. Her dog died, and on top of that, she has to spend time with that blabbermouth, Zinnik. On the other hand, Zinnik might be holding his tongue for a while after his encounter with the Troskowitz stocks.
Bonnie spends time with Zinnik. She may want some spirits rather than herbs.
Bonnie? Never. Being a decent Christian, she avoids alcohol like the plague. Right along, so you're back as soon as possible.
To the lair.
Take care.
Quick!
What was that noise? Woodcutters.
What? Lord be with you.
I'm Henry, Miller Crazel's new apprentice. He sent me to search for a niter pit and said you might be able to help me with that.
Of course I will. I'm Bonnie. Nice to meet you.
Bonnie? It's not a name I hear often.
It's not the name I was baptized with. In our craft, it ain't a good idea to tell people your real name. That's why we use nicknames. What should we call you?
The poet.
Well, that's not very creative. You know what? I'll come up with a nickname for you myself when I get to know you better. Did you bring me something from the mill?
Actually, Crazel said you'd appreciate some herbs.
He's right there. Do you have some for me?
I've got something here.
My word, that's exactly what I need. The ingredients for the magic ritual.
What kind of magic ritual?
The kind where Zenek finally gets some sense into his head and stops making stupid beginner's mistakes. Just so you know, that mess with the author of Hermes Trismegistos would never have happened to me. Not me. While we're on the subject of rituals, did Crazel tell you about the golem?
He did.
And what do you think of it?
I'm curious to see what a golem made of flour will look like, but I'm mostly curious to see if Crazel will really be able to breathe life into it with the help of saltpeter.
I'm more worried that as soon as it comes to life, it'll slay us all with one blow. So, if by some chance it looks like something's going wrong, you won't see my heels for dust. And I suggest you do the same. But that's enough of that. We're not going to stand here talking about flower golems when we've barely just met. I'd like to chat with you too, Henry. Get to know you a bit. But if you're in a hurry to find Crazel's saltpeter, I won't keep you.
No. I have plenty of time. But where to start?
You know what? I'll start. When they caught Zeneg in Troskovitz, I was scared out of my mind that they'd catch me and clap me in the stocks. I had to hide out here for a while, so I haven't had anyone to talk to. Life in the lair isn't all fun and games. Zeneg and all the other mill knuckleheads were never worth much as company. So I'm glad the miller's finally found a normal hand for once. You've got a beautiful dog. What's his name?
Mutt.
What a cute fella. How did you find each other?
He belonged to this girl I knew, Teresa. She saved my life in my hometown, Skalitz, when I went to bury my parents.
Well, that's what I call an interesting past. I used to have a dog, but I don't anymore.
He died.
He started getting these lumps all over his body. He stopped eating, just slept all the time. And then, well, what's done is done. And what about you? What kind of family are you from? Also, thieves?
No. Pa was a blacksmith. I inherited something from him, I hope.
Oh, really? Would you teach me how to make, maybe, barrel hoops?
Those are pretty hard. Wouldn't you rather start with, maybe nails?
Sure. I'm pretty quick to learn and patient. That is, with one exception. When Crazel starts spouting off his alchemy theories, I'd rather run for the hills. What do you think of the old miller, anyway?
He seems awfully mystical. He has lots of experience, like as if he's lived for hundreds of years.
It's his beard that does that. Don't let it fool you. Thanks for talking to me. It really is good to have someone to pour my heart out to. But now, about that saltpeter. Before you came, and before Zeneg fucked up with the manuscript, we collected saltpeter all over the place, mainly in sties. It has to be scraped from the walls. Horrible work, time-consuming and annoying. I'm not going to lie to you. We also looked in a few chests, just in case. You know. Anyhow, now all the sties in the region are scraped clean and we're sitting pretty on a nice barrel of saltpeter.
Barrel is quite a lot.
For the whole Trotsky region, aye. Unfortunately, Crazel said we need at least 6 times as much.
6 times? Will one saltpeter pit be enough?
I reckon so. There should be as much as Crazel needs for his masterwork. If you're looking for it, you ought to know how saltpeter forms. Do you have any idea?
Certainly. You take a damp wall, like in a sty, you let the water evaporate from it, and you get this salty bloom.
That's right. But like I told you, all the sty walls in the region are scraped clean and we can't wait. Don't forget that saltpeter crystals are formed in places where something is rotting. It can be shit or carcasses. Well, a saltpeter pit is actually nothing more than a mass grave. The best natural saltpeter maker.
Crazel said saltpeter is a vessel for life energy. Well, I get it that it's left over from dead bodies, but how do you get it from shit?
God's mysterious ways. You know how it is.
And he also wanted me to taste it. That's nonsense, though, isn't it?
Unfortunately, it isn't. Otherwise, you won't know if it's saltpeter or some other shit. It feels kind of cold on the tongue.
Jesus. And you know where to look for such a pit full of carcasses, do you?
Not exactly, but I have an idea. Times are evil and there's plenty of corpses. A person who's digging holes and throwing dead bodies into them and doesn't even know he's got a a saltpeter mine.
The local gravedigger?
Exactly. And the one we have here in the region is also the knacker.
Ah, the gravedigger Ignatius. I've already met him. He lives outside Troskowitz in the direction of Apollonia, right?
Aye, that's him.
So I'm in for a walk to the cemetery.
Seems like it. Too bad you couldn't have walked around the county with us before. It was fun. And pretty useful experience. I learned a lot during that time, and I won't keep it to myself. I'd be happy to teach you something, if you want.
I'll keep that in mind.
That old gravedigger will be suspicious, so I'd bring him some kind of offering. He's always dragging those carcasses, so I'm sure he'd appreciate a slab of fresh meat from Troskowitz butcher.
Good idea.
He lives a short way from the cemetery, so at least the meat won't go bad on the way. Lots of luck, the poet.
And I was beginning to worry what that was. But it's just you. Save your whistling for the cow, you lout.
Huh? Hey, you. Either you have something to sell, or we never saw each other.
I'm interested.
You.
Greetings, goodman.
Laudetur Jesus Christus, Dominus tecum, frater meus.
Amen. I'm sorry, brother, but you don't exactly look like a monk.
Ego sum qui sum. And you are assuredly not my brother yet. As the day of reckoning draws near, we are all brothers, and soon our sins will be weighed and tallied. Novid enim Dominus qui sunt eus. Let us not forget the last judgment.
Well, these are troubled times, I grant you. But bad enough for the last judgment. I wouldn't say things are that bleak, my friend.
How could the prophecies not be true? Are we not witnessing the depravity of the clergy and the baseness of the false popes? Magistri mendaces, qui introducen sectas perditionis, o libera nos a malo.
Well, true that may be. But I also know righteous men of faith.
Novid Dominus pios de tentatione eripere, and all sinners shall be damned.
I thought you were selling something. But now I see it's the word of God you're handing out.
And should I be selling it for profit, as the priests and abbots do? Et in avaritia fictis verbis de vobis negociabuntur.
I can't understand much. But thank you for your concern for my soul, preacher.
Are you a blasphemer? A fornicator? Can you tell the true pope from the false? Shall you sin or change your ways? Who can ever know these days? A groschen or two and the intercession of a saint is yours.
So you mean to sell me an indulgence? Only the church could do that, can't it?
Absit! Nothing of the kind, my friend. I'm not selling, and promises are not mine to make. Whether you wish to avail yourself of the intercession of the saints with a small relic is entirely up to you, frater meus.
Show me your wares.
Certainly you won't find this.
A word about the... What would you...
Look.
All right.
Great! Happy to be of service. Take care. Yes, sir. My God, that was like...
Bit... Oh.
God bless.
Greetings to you too.
Good afternoon, sir.
I need some advice.
You want some advice? Here's some for free. I catch you fighting here again, and I'll spank your bare ass like a brat. Down to business. I don't have all day for you, so what do you want?
I promised Radovan the blacksmith I'd go and see Ambrose the hermit in Apollonia.
My God, lad, stay away from them rocks. Ambrose the hermit sold his soul to the devil and won't talk to nobody no more.
Yeah, I heard that as well. But it seems a bit far-fetched.
So why would an evil spirit suddenly start appearing near Apollonia? It's the devil's work, believe you me.
And has anyone sent to the castle for the priest?
Not at all. Bailiff Thrush is keeping it quiet so far. 4 strangers came here yesterday. They sat in the corner there, but once they heard about the apparition, they started to take a big interest.
What strangers?
They looked like monks, only they had daggers concealed under their robes. I saw them clearly. I'm telling you, there's something fishy going on around Ambrose.
But I have to speak to him.
Didn't you hear what I said? He doesn't speak to nobody. He hides away in his hut and sends everyone away. I'd think long and hard before doing anything if I was you, because this reeks of hell.
I'd like to ask you about that.
Ugh.
What do you know about this apparition?
Stanislav, the herds boy. He comes running into the village that night, all terrified, saying he'd seen a rider from hell in Apollonia. And the very next night, it appeared in the rocks below the road to Tahov. There's this conciliatory stone cross there. And the next day, it was at a funny angle. There's some devilry in it for sure.
And it was the herds boy who saw it by the cross, or someone else?
The apothecary's wife, Gerda. Ask her yourself. She's not been herself ever since, poor woman.
Where can I find the herds boy?
Stanislav has a sheep pen in the meadow beyond the Troskovitz graveyard, right above the big crossroads outside Apollonia.
How do I get to the hermit?
You're asking for trouble.
Greeting.
I'll have a look at...
I'm glad you found what... we're looking for, sir.
Are you whistling at me? I'm not interested.
Go!
Whoa!
Oh!
Greetings, sir.
Ignatius, I'm gonna need your help.
Of course. How many are there? Where do you want to bury them? Shall we grind the teeth up, or do you want to take them away in your purse?
None of that. I have a different, slightly unusual request. Bonnie from Lower Semine sent me. We're looking for a saltpeter pit.
From Lower Semine? What pit?
A saltpeter pit.
I ain't never heard of nothing like that. What's it supposed to be? A pit to hell?
Nah, it's actually just a pit full of carcasses. These white crystals form on the walls of it. And that's exactly what we're after.
Ah, now I get it. You should have said you're looking for the pit I throw carcasses into. What's all this about Salty Peter? I'm going to go there anyway, so I'll take you there.
Really? That was easier than I thought.
Not even a chicken scratches in the dirt without hope of reward, though. You'll help me with something first. I have some collections from some Stratego farmsteads, and I'd be a fool if I didn't use a helping hand. At least one day I can take it a bit easy.
You want me to help you with your grave digging business?
Why not? You look like a strong fella. You'll be a good helper.
Oh, dragging carcasses around isn't exactly a respectable job. But so be it. I'll help you with it. What else can I do?
Grave digging is a job like any other. Sooner or later, everyone needs our services. And if it wasn't for us knackers, folk would have to deal with their animal carcasses themselves.
Of course, I understand. I'm just a little worried about what people will say about me when they see me with you. I wouldn't like to lose the honor I've earned as squire to a nobleman.
Don't worry about what people say. They'll only strip you of your honor if you let them. So what then? Shall we take a nice little ride with my boys Snorter and Dragonfly here? Nice and early, at daybreak.
Let's get this over with then.
Didn't you understand me? We ain't going nowhere now. Like I said, be here at daybreak. That's between night and day. Do you understand?
Is there some place I can wait for morning to come?
Of course, if you've got nothing better to do, you can sit here with me. If you know how to read, I have a book hidden in the outhouse I got of a dead fella. That'll make the time go faster. In fact, you can keep it. All I can do is admire all them fancy squiggles in it anyway.
And where can I sleep?
At the inn in Truskowitz. Get a good breakfast there, too. You'll need it to be at full strength. Here's a little something so you know I take care of my helpers. See you in the morning. You have a kind master, eh, Mutt?
Whoa!
What happened?
I hear.
What game? How about let?
Maybe you're not playing for the first time, but you can't beat me. Why'd I even start playing? Good game, friend. The money's yours.
Aye, the beer's gotta flow.
Tell it.
Hey, it's me. Come over here.
No longer calling me Hans, then?
Well, see, I discovered the truth of the matter. Hans double-crossed me.
How do you know?
I found out by chance. It wasn't just me that fell for that tale of selling wares for a tidy profit in Germany. He'd take people to taverns, get all friendly with them, then take all their goods and vanish.
How many people are we talking about?
I know of at least 3. But it wouldn't surprise me if there wasn't a lot more of us.
It happens all the time. Well, you should report him. They'll catch him and give him what for.
It's already been done. He got caught with stolen goods somewhere. Then one thing led to another, and they found out he was involved in all sorts of dodgy business.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
I suppose so. But it made me realize how hard it is to trust anyone these days.
Not everybody's out to get you.
I hope you're not, at least. Sorry I mistook you for him. But you do look a lot alike.
So, chances are you won't be seeing your money from Hans again, will you?
I suppose not. Well, lesson learned at least.
I'd like to purchase...
Take your... I'm sorry.
Greetings, sir. Didn't you like I said?
Christ, take... I don't know if I'm completely ready for this. But let's get going.
The dew is still on the leaves. The roads are clear. You don't need your horse. I'll stable him here. It'll be heaven for him. In any case, heaven's always close here. Hop on the wagon and Snorter and Dragonfly here will take care of us. Did I bring that stuff for Visor? Meat? Bane? Aesop? Got it all. Good. We've got a long journey ahead of us, so get yourself comfortable so your arse won't hurt. So, you say you're from Lower Samine, eh?
Well, not exactly. I'm not even from this region. I'm only doing some work for the miller.
I remember Crazel when he was still a wee lad. Even then he was a great big smart ass. When I buried his parents, he was traipsing somewhere through the world. Maybe you heard what they say about Lower Samine round these parts. Crazel don't sell short measure, not that. He looks out for his reputation, but his helpers have been seen often in the villages after dark, looking fishy. Or during the day, in the pillories. Don't that Bonnie of yours belong to that gang too?
Bonnie's an honest girl, and her friend Zinek is too. Crazel only sent them to scrape saltpeter off the walls of the sties, so that's just what they've been doing. From what she told me, they had nothing else in mind.
Lower Samine's a thorn in the side for a lot of folk. Some on account of the competition. Some is just rubbed up the wrong way by that Crazel. Either way, all they need's the slightest excuse to grab their pitchforks. Go and grab the miller and shove his face right in his own millstone. Lazy bones. Whoa, boys, whoa! Come on, come on! Are you deaf? Oh, they're acting stubborn again. Now listen, Henry. Here on the left side, you'll see the ruins of a cottage that's been abandoned for a few years.
It looks mysterious. What treasures might be hidden there?
You'll soon see. I have a trap set inside the cottage. I wanted to lure a wolf into it, but that didn't work out. There's a deer rotting there unnecessarily. So hop in there and bring it to the wagon. Finally. At least we're not blocking the road too much.
Oh, Jesus, what a stench. Better quickly throw it in a sack and take it back to the wagon.
that was here sneaking around the stars a while ago. You put them up to this fella's with him. Hey! Drop that right now and get over here!
What's going on, Ignatius?
Ah, I'm trying to explain to these fellas we've got nothing to do with no thieving around here. They should go to Lower Samine to complain.
2 stinking pieces of shit was sneaking around our sties and cellars and lining their purses with silver too while they was at it. Some scruffy and dunger. You must be scruffy, eh?
I'm Henry, and those, names mean nothing to me.
Like I said, if it's rotten carrion they're after, they should have come to me. A passion for knacking is the only thing we have in common.
Is that so? So prove it then.
Ignatius is telling the truth. There are all sorts of types causing trouble in these parts. Not just from Lower Samine. Ignatius and I thank you for taking on the job of guarding the roads, making sure that honest, if somewhat grubby tradesmen stay safe.
Aye, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So, thanks.
Really good work, lad. Well, time waits for no man. Let's all carry on with our duties, eh?
All right, listen. We'll be going then. But if you happen to run into them 2 thieves, you tell us right away, got it?
Of course.
You can count on it.
Glad to hear it. Let's go, fellas. Maybe...
Do you want to keep going?
Not much left for us to do here, eh?
Hopefully our luck will hold out, and we'll only be breaking the limbs of carcasses today. The next farm's just up ahead. Hop on, and let's go. Here we come, Snorter. Don't worry. That was just a kind of little favour for me. Now we'll help the locals here in Jdar with their carcasses.
So far, I've just carried sacks. I already did that for the miller.
Yesterday, the good wife from that farm came and told me both their pigs died. So we'll scoop them up and haul them off. I mean, you'll scoop them up and haul them to my cart. She says it was a curse. There was a flash of lightning, the pigs started trembling, squealing and puking, and then keeled over and dropped dead.
All right, that's what you get. People sin here in their seclusion, thinking they're out of sight of our Lord.
It ain't my first day doing this job, so I could see right off them pigs had been poisoned. The good wife swore them pigs were happy as, well, pigs in shit. She said they even let them go to a nearby stream to have a wallow. It flows here through the forest on the right. Since we're here, you ought to go and take a look around there. Check how clear that spring really is.
All right, I'll see what's going on there.
And I'm going to enjoy having a helper. At least for one day. Maybe I'll roll around in the grass here with Snorter and Dragonfly. Lazy bones.
Those pigs came here to drink. Where to now? I can smell something upstream. It really wasn't a curse. There are rotting carcasses in the water upstream from the watering spot. No wonder the pigs caught some disease.
Well, what do you know? I was right. I'll give you a hand. It'd take you all night on your own.
Blessings to you.
Pretty hefty, hey? They lived like royalty here.
Jesus, this is disgusting.
Bloody hell.
Pigs are heavier than deer, eh?
Bloody hell.
Greetings to you.
Ew. Is this really worth it?
Interesting.
Poor things. A waste of good meat.
Do you want to keep going or not?
I took care of the carcasses. We can drive on.
Nice work. There's even a bit of meat left for me.
Yeah, you'd eat that. They've been lying there God knows how long.
But nicely in the cold. There's nothing wrong with it. Anyway, you won't be eating it, so don't worry about it. Let's keep going. Seeing as how you don't obey me, you're surely horsing around today. So far it ain't that bad, eh? You don't have to take down no hanged man or bury an unbaptized child.
Well, ever since I started working for the miller, all I did was carry sacks. The sack makers here in the region must live like kings. Of course it could be a lot worse.
I like having to carry sacks full of thistles. Now listen to me closely. You won't be carrying anything at the next farmstead. Instead, you'll have to make one carcass there. See, the work of a knacker ain't just about clearing away dead animals. Now and then you've got to put down some creature so it don't suffer. Or, like today, to put it down so everyone around it don't have to suffer. In this case, we're talking about a dog.
Well, what can I do? But I doubt I'll feel good about it.
That cur belongs to the greengrocer, Vizar. I've heard they're both pretty fierce. Don't draw too much attention to yourself at the farmstead. I'll give you some Aesop potion to drink first, and some meat and bane. Soak the meat with the poison and throw it to the dog. He'll probably be locked in a pen somewhere. As soon as it's done, we'll disappear before anyone notices anything. I got paid well for it from the neighbors, so don't fuck it up for me. Lazy bones. Yeah! 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 Good doggy. Good. Boy.
Sakra! The dog isn't here. The door's open. Where did he run off to? Barking. It's coming from over there.
doing here, Henry? What are you doing here?
Bonnie? What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Now, first, tell me what you're doing here. And how come you're with that beast?
He's no beast. I came here to save him.
You mean steal him?
For him, it'll be a redemption from that horse and master of his. I'll take care of him, in place of my poor dead sniffer.
Bonnie, the gravedigger sent me to kill the dog. He's been paid to do it by the people whose livestock that beast killed. It's the last thing I need to do before he shows me the pit.
It's not the animal's fault. When Zenek and I were here last, I saw how old Vysarik treats him. He doesn't give him food, he abuses him. With a master like that, he won't last long. You wouldn't kill a dumb creature just because its master is a sick horseman, would you?
Well, you don't have to convince me. Ever since the gravedigger told me to do it, I've been trying to figure out how to save that dog. If you want to take him, I won't stop you.
You're a much better Christian than I thought you were. I'll take him to the lair. We'll meet there.
Hurry off now, before someone sees us together.
Come on now, boy. You'll like it in the lair.
God bless.
It's taken care of.
Taken care of? What do you mean?
The dog is dead. So, can we go to the pit now?
Dead, eh? And what are you so nervous about?
Well, it wasn't pleasant to watch. I did it exactly how you told me. I poisoned him.
Oh, aye. And how did it go exactly?
Well, I dipped the meat in poison. He ate it and peacefully departed to doggy heaven.
So, it all went how it should. I use a real strong mixture so the creatures don't suffer too much. He's done for, the beast. Finally. Let's go before we start looking suspicious.
So this is it. This is the pit.
Slowly, boy. Slowly. Have a bit of respect. Death always deserves respect, whether it's people or animals.
But there's hardly 3 heaps here. Is this really it? Are you yanking my pizzle again?
Of course not. True, it used to be one big pit. But then I found out when you pile up carcasses in smaller pits and throw some wet hay between them, it all rots better. And the better it rots, the more nitre you'll have. Are you going to take some right away?
I won't. I'll just tell Crazel where you have it. I don't know if he'll take something away. Maybe he'll just make his own pit according to your design.
Now that would be a great honor.
Well, I reckon I'm delaying the inevitable. I'll still have to taste it.
You're going to taste it?
It's the only way I can be certain it really is saltpeter.
God's nails. And they say I'm disgusting. Wait a moment. I've got a reward for you. Just so's you don't think old Ignatius and his even older nags is ungrateful riffraff. Take it as a thanks for your help. Maybe you'll take over my trade one day when I'm pushing up daisies myself.
Who knows? Maybe that'll really be my fate. I'll live at the cemetery, build piles of carcasses, and eat bread with saltpeter.
Here's something that'll definitely come in handy if you ever need to go through all this again. Either with me or somewhere else.
Thanks.
Taste it then. Get to it. This I have got to see. You didn't have to make such a feast of it.
Look at me. I'm a Lord's messenger to a taster of cadavers. Cold and salty. This must be it.
God bless you, sir.
Well, I hope I've proven I'm not all hot air. Will you tell me more about yourself now?
Can't you just leave things the way they are?
I have to get to know the people I work for, at least a little.
Let me give you some good advice. People will always tell you what they want you to hear. And that's not always the truth. Try to get to know someone through their actions. Those mean more than 1,000 empty words.
You seem like a reasonably educated man, Crazel.
Where are you going with this?
Well, I reckon you know some interesting and useful things. If you share them with me, it'll make it easier to endure all that bullshit you spew.
I'm glad you know what you're getting yourself into. Are you interested in the theory of light, kinetics, or vacuums?
That's a bit too fast for me. What I need is the basics.
I have no time for the basics.
I'll be happy to give you some groschen for your troubles.
All right. But don't forget, this will take some time. For a few groschen, I'll teach you whatever you want.
You talk about alchemy.
We've been through a lot together, so I'm sure. Let's start with the importance of the ratio of ingredients and let's get to work.
I'd like to...
Well, all right. For a few...
For instance...
I see. Let's get to work.
I'd like to...
Well, all right. Or a few gross.
I reckon you...
That's a true art. You need to master the knowledge. Let's get to work. God bless.
I found the place where we can harvest saltpeter. You just head out of Troskowitz towards Apollonia, carry on alongside the road, then head off it at the right spot. Only it's not a pit, it's 3 piles of earth. The gravedigger Ignatius drove me there himself.
And is it the real stuff? Did you taste it?
Yeah. And I hope I never have to do that again. Ugh. I think the experience has changed me forever.
Oh, come on. You whine more than Zinnik. It's just commonplace salt. I was hoping it'd be closer. To go all the way to Apollonia. If I send 2 wagons, that should be enough.
What should I do?
That means I could mix a barrel and a half.
Crazul, focus. What else do you need from me?
Oh, sorry. What were you asking? About a reward? It's right here.
Thanks. How's it going with the golem?
Well, the whole thing is really appealing to a scholar of my field of interest and important for humanity. But certain circumstances have emerged which, unfortunately, move its creation somewhere further into the future.
Wait, what do you mean? So there won't be any golem?
Not for now.
What about all the niter? The life essence?
I admitted to myself it's maybe too much to take on, and I decided to go back to my roots.
So the search for saltpeter was for nothing?
Not at all. The saltpeter will help us create primordial matter. The origin. Chaos. Materia prima.
God. Here we go again.
As alchemical scholars, we actually have only one task before us. To penetrate the diaphanum and find out where it gets its disposition and power from. Only then will we understand the nature of the shadows.
Eh?
I'll explain it to you.
Tell me then, what's the next task then, Crazul?
From behind the closed gates of Trotsky come quiet whispers, carried by the wind, all the way here to me in the mill. Do you hear it too?
No. I reckon my ears aren't that good.
Scribe Erezim received a trunk from Prague, and in that trunk was...
The document of Hermes Trismegistos?
No, a book. And from an author more venerable than Hermes. It's thin, with a sand-colored cover, embossed. Ordinary at first glance, but the treasure's inside. You might say it's kind of an alchemical cookbook.
So I'm gonna have to pick some locks again, eh? And in the castle, no less. I'd like to know how I'm supposed to get in there. Trotsky is shut tight.
For some. The gates of Trotsky may appear to be closed to us, mere mortals. But why try to force your way in when there's a person they'll invite in themselves?
What person?
Hold on, we'll get to that. We've got the Samine wedding coming up. I can't wait to try out my new potion against drunkenness there. What about you? You still need to get there?
Things are taking so long with you, I'd half given up hope. Besides, after the taste of carcasses I had to endure, I kind of lost my appetite for the wedding feast.
Well, you better get it back again, because I honor my promises. Start getting ready. I see you've already got a fine outfit. Ad charisma tuendum. St. Paul would be pleased.
So you'll really get me into that wedding? Am I dreaming?
No, you're not. But before you start celebrating, we won't be going by ourselves. We'll have company. Or, to be more exact, the 2 of us will be accompanying a certain person. Me as a friend and host, and you as a bodyguard, loyal servant. Call it what you will.
It'll be some female, right?
Correct. But not just any female. A true lady will come to the wedding with us. Radiant as the morning star, refined as pure gold. All will be stunned by her beauty. And she'll be our lockpick that will find the weak spot in the gate to Trotsky. All it'll take is a little push. And clunk.
the lock will open, and the book will be mine.
What weak spot?
The castle's weak spot is Chamberlain Ulrich, because he himself has a weakness for women. Of all the single damsels at the wedding, ours will be the most charming and irresistible for him. Noble or not, he's a mortal man, and he'll start to think with his male member. We will watch as he becomes feverish with lust. Soon he'll be begging to take our companion to Trotsky. He'll pretend his motives are pure, so she'll be more comfortable. And when the Chamberlain becomes insistent, you, as her personal bodyguard, will accept his offer. Naturally, you'll say you won't leave her side so you can defend her honor. Once in Trotsky, Ulrich will do everything to get you to leave him alone with her. And that will be your chance.
I can hardly believe that you, of all people, would come up with such a straightforward plan.
Well, it's not all that straightforward. I admit there's a certain element here that makes everything more complicated. First, we have to find our gracious lady.
Ah. And I'm gonna look for one, right?
Who else? Look, she doesn't have to be a lady per se. We just need a wench with a pretty face. We'll get her a nice dress, some perfume. She doesn't even have to speak. We'll do the talking.
Could Bonnie do it?
She could. The only hitch is everyone and his dog knows her face. Nobody with any sense would let her into the Samine wedding.
So a village girl will do?
I doubt an ordinary village girl would agree to what we're going to ask of her. You can find lots of capable girls at the Gelioff baths, including some who aren't so well known. It's true, Dorothy can be a bit unpleasant, but you'll be giving her an offer she can't refuse.
Dorothy owns the bathhouse?
Aye, next to the alehouse there. You'll tell her I'm offering enough groschen to buy 2 cows or a small cottage. That should soften her up.
Can't you take care of it yourself?
I don't get on too well with Dorothy, to put it mildly. You, on the other hand, you're a talented, likable youngster, like Knight Roland of yore. I have complete faith in you. And don't forget, we're going to need to dress the girl up and make her smell nice so she comes across like a real lady. So, stop off at Troskowitz as well and get her a nice brocade dress and some long-lasting perfume. Mintha would be ideal.
Where can I find the dress?
What do you think, the butcher's? Go and see the tailor. Bartoszek has just the thing in his shop. A beautiful red dress made of Tyrolean brocade.
Why that dress exactly?
Because red is the color of love and passion. The rich Tyrolean brocade is just begging to be touched. Ulrich won't know where to look. The dress is likely to be pretty expensive, but that's no obstacle for you, right?
Where can I find the perfume?
Emmerich the apothecary might have something. They say he makes some perfume for his wife. Or ask Betty the innkeeper. She may be a god-awful battle axe, but a nice-smelling one. Or get hold of the recipe and make your own Mintha. As an alchemy apprentice, you should be able to manage.
I'll be going then.
Once you've got everything ready for the wedding, we'll meet in front of the fortress gate. There, I'll let our lady in on some other details of our plan. But that won't be for your ears. Anyway, you'll be rehearsing your speech to Lord von Berghoff then, won't you?
I can't wait.